table around the house that you thought about throwing away because it's out of style or slightly damaged with scratches and that type of thing? Well, don't do it. Distress it.
So this is a solid wood table that I had at one time used for a desk, and then it became a craft table. As you can see, all the paint on the top of it. And I wanted to bring this table back to life, but to do something a bit different. So we're going to take and begin sanding to get all the paint off the top of the table and to get it prepared for a distressed, stained technique. Like this. Start her up. So for the most part, I am sanding in the direction of the grain of the wood, and I'm trying to get a good bit of the coating on top of the table off, but I probably will not be getting it entirely off, which will be okay for the technique that I'm going to be doing with the gray stain. Doing this type of project, a large table like this, even though it is big, the surface is flat, so it makes the sanding process a lot easier, as you really don't have any rounded edges except for the edges of the table, and the sander can just move nicely over that though as well. I have truly come to appreciate solid wood furniture, because anymore when you go to the stores and you buy these tables that are cute, but they're really not that durable, and they're made of, I don't know what, some type of fiberboard, I guess. And I love working with solid wood. It's just very rewarding to do. It's a solid piece. It will be around for a long time unless you get the axe out to it. And I don't plan on doing that. I look like an alien with these glasses and this mask, but it's time to dust off the table. It already looks much better just by sanding off the paint that was on the tabletop. Should I brush my hair now? I think not. So now I am opening up the stain that I'm going to be using to make the top of this table distressed and to make it more modernized and to just give it a whole new look. And the great thing about this project is you don't have to be an expert at painting at all, because you're just going to apply the stain. Doesn't matter if you get full coverage in certain spots, because we'll be sanding over it to give it a more distressed look. So all you've got to do is just get a good coating of some gray stain on the table. That's my goal. Can you tell I'm a dancer with the way I'm standing here in basically 5th position? You can apply the stain on the table any way that you choose. I just kind of decided to do it in sections. You know, just to mix it up a bit. Headed toward the finish line here. Yay! After it dried, I just decided I wanted to put a little more stain coating in various spots on the table. So that is what I'm doing now. So now the table has been coated with the gray stain with enough coating that I feel it's ready to be distressed using the sander now. putting the sandpaper on my Black & Decker mouse sander so that I can begin distressing and de-stressing. Getting my gloves and my mask on, so I'm ready to go. Let's sand it and distress it. So this part is very individualized because as I'm sanding it, I'm looking at it and thinking, okay, you know, I want to take a little more off here. I want to keep a little more color here. And I'm just kind of going through that thought process the entire time that I am sanding the table. You also want to make sure you're getting the edges and corners of the table so it all blends together. I just realized I'm really getting into this as I got a little booty shaking going on. So this is how it looks. It has been sanded to the extent that I wanted to have it sanded. I only am going to be staining the top, as you can see, as I want the legs to still have the natural finish, and I wanted to see a good bit of the natural finish through the gray stain. And I will be putting a satin polyurethane coating on the top of the table. I really like the edges of the table. I think it looks cool. So now I'm just wiping off all of the dust, wiping the table down really good because you don't want to have any debris on the table when you're trying to put your urethane coating on the top. And next I am now just putting a coating of polyurethane over the top because it is a table that's going to be very functional. You're going to be sitting things on it and you want to keep it protected and be able to wipe it off. And so I'm going to be applying at least 2, if not 3 coats of the polyurethane on the top of the table. So the table is done. The lighting in my garage right now does not really do the table justice, as it looks much better than in this video, but in any case, here it is. It is a fun table. You could use this as a dining table and get some chairs to go with it, or it could be an arts and crafts table, or any kind of a workbench, or it could just be a table to play cards or something like that. So here is the table with a nice little centerpiece. So here's another table I did that's very similar to the one that I just did with the gray stain, but this was a smaller version and I wanted to have a lot of pop of color, and so I made this into a desk and I decided to use this beautiful blue, and it came out gorgeous, but this is paint and not stain. I am super stoked at this PJ's Garage creation, and therefore I'm going to do my happy dance. Dancing on the table. Yowza. Thank you for joining me, and be creative and do it yourself.